Hey, we are live here at Smoke and Barrel. Thanks for joining us today. We are live on our YouTube channel, Smoke and Barrel Cigar Bar and Lounge. I'm really not sure. And we are live on Facebook. We're on our Smoke and Barrel page, and we are live on the Cigar Extraordinaire T Crocker's page. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a great day. This is birthday week. So I don't even know when the actual birthdays are, but we are celebrating them Saturday here at the lounge. So if you have not decided to come now. In honor of our birthday celebrities over here, T and Charlie.
Celebritants? I don't know what the proper verbiage is.
I don't know. We're having Eagle Rare. Because I thought T and Charlie would appreciate the 10-year Eagle Rare.
Yes.
We are also having the CAO Vision 2022. So, hey, spare no expense today. We are going all out. So we have T Crocker, the Cigar Extraordinaire. We have Carolee Martin, the Cigar Goddess, or the Goddess of Cigars, however you want to put it. She's both. She's everything. She's always there. So we are excited. Charlie is playing Santa Claus.
Again.
Actually, that is really the only valid excuse for you to miss a podcast is Santa. All the rest of it is just he's cheating. But Santa, I give exceptions.
Hey, the kids come first. Mm-hmm. So you got to do Santa. Speaking of which, I want to brag on our folks here at Smoke and Barrel. We had 16 angels on the angel tree, families, and they were taken in less than a couple of days.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
By Tuesday, we brought them in, Friday? Mm-hmm. By Tuesday at Music Bingo, we had 2 left, and I got up and I announced we have 2 left, and they were gone.
That's
so
awesome.
All of them are gone. They're going to turn them in December 10th, so it's awesome. So really appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys supporting that effort. We're collecting coats and book bags, coats and
non-perishable foods.
And non-perishable foods for
Mount Holly
Community Relief Organization.
Yep.
So the CRO is the one that gave us the families.
Mm-hmm.
The CRO is our food bank, but also they do a lot more in helping people during the holidays and also throughout the year pay utility bills, get food, get financial help when they need it, and other help and resources in the community.
Is there a way to volunteer time?
Absolutely. They are always looking for volunteers. You can they get a delivery from Second Harvest in Charlotte, so they need help taking that off. They go and pick up donations from churches. They need people all the time. And Peggy Putnam, who was there many years, I have no idea, a long time, since I've been around, just a long time. So she passed away, unfortunately, and she was wonderful. And then you got Kathy Flowers. So those two were kind of teaming up over there, really manning the fort as it is. And they have a great board of directors, but they can always use help.
Okay.
I mean, there's not an organization around that would say, "Nah, we're good," But they truly do a lot of good in the community. Yeah. So we want to give back here at Smoke and Barrel. We try to do what we can when we can.
So we have our collection bin by the front check-in desk. That the one at the check-in desk is for the non-perishable foods.
Okay.
And then we're going to have another one that we're going to sit over in this corner. It's going to be for gently used coats.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is team up with Steve's Coats for Kids, because he do that every year. And so we're going to collect coats and then just take them all over there to their donation spot. So
awesome.
That's what.
So the food's for the CRO and the coats are for
Steve's Coats for Kids.
Steve's Coats for Kids. So great.
All right.
So wonderful. So that's the GTG here at Smoke and Barrel. So very excited. One of their community projects. So that's fantastic. Had a great fundraiser for GTG.
Oh, yeah.
Very successful. Thanks to everybody who supports that. Now, we got all the business out of the way. So now let's talk about the good stuff. What's going on with this
all right,
cigar
so
today?
we did a CEO Vision in the past,
Right.
and it had a really cool LED light up, that became the box like that. Well, this year it is a 2-tray drawer. I almost brought it, but it would take up the whole table. And it also lights up a orange LED. But what we're concerned about is the cigar, and it's a Honduran Jamastran Viso wrapper, Nicaraguan Jalapa Seco binder, and Nicaraguan from Jalapa, Condega, and Esteli in the fill. And they made like 2,700 of them for the country.
Really?
So it's pretty hard to find. To me, it's kind of I'm getting some sweetness on this one.
Rapid.
Yeah.
And this is a nice light up. I mean, it draws really well. It's a attractive band on it, and
Nice. It's nice. I kind of like it. It's a little different than last year's version. Right? Because last year was more of a Connecticut wrapper.
it was milder, for sure.
This is a medium so far. When you said not a lot of spice, it's
No,
got a
I'm
little
not.
bit in it, but the sweetness is a really good mixture.
Yeah, I get more of the spice like on the back end, and some of the more spicy ones, I definitely get that hit right at the tip of the tongue and kind of the roof of the mouth almost. But I'm
Right.
not getting that with this one.
Right.
Well, I think it pairs really well with the Eagle Rare 10-year.
Everything pairs well with Eagle Rare.
You know, I think everybody can identify the Eagle Rare as a great find. And I'm going to say it that way
All right.
because, it's fashionable, it's marketed well. Really,
it
how
says
does
rare in the name. I mean,
it
come
does
on.
say rare in the name, and it is hard to get, especially in North Carolina. We've been blessed with it here to have it. But I guess my point in going through all that is, what is the hype? Is it worth the hype?
It is.
So it's aged no less than 10 years. So when they bring those barrels off and they start blending them, no less than 10 years. It's got its own rick house. It's got its own level. It's just like Blanton's. It's got its own special place. But here's the deal. I'm going to count the awards in 2022 alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 awards in 2022. 9. And it was no less than silver, gold, silver, 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 double gold, double turds, silver, gold International Spirits Challenge, extraordinary ultimate recommendation, 95 to 100, ultimate spirits challenge. But I could go year after year after year after year and tell you how many awards it wins. So you just don't get awards just because you're special. Like you got a great name, you got great marketing. It's called Eagle Rare. It comes from Buffalo Trace. Well, doesn't everything? People wait in lines, and what's the bourbon of the day? What's the allocation going to be? And it's either E.H. Taylor, it's Eagle Rare, it's whatever that day, Blanton's, Weller's. So it is worth the hype. It is worth the taste. I mean, when you taste it and you really want to work your way up, you say, well, it's got pretty much the same mash bill, or it does have the same mash bill as Benchmark. Benchmark's a 3-year-old bourbon. Okay, it's just a young Eagle Rare. Then you have your Blantons. Okay, we're going further with Blantons, right? Over 15 years, Blantons is going to be in a certain section which brings that sweeter flavor from Blantons, more caramel. You're getting it here, right? You're getting those notes here.
For sure.
It's kind of like honey, leather, oak, all mixed together, which kind of sounds like a cigar.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
the similarities are striking.
It is. We can't beat it.
Right.
So I got a buddy that's watching in Serbia. Zdravo.
That. How you doing? How y'all doing? All right, Mook's out shopping. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Heck.
The
what
move.
do you got? That Knob Creek.
15-year Knob Creek.
Get it.
Oh, you paying for it? Okay,
Get
that's
it?
what I thought. I just did an order last night, y'all. I'm gonna see if they're gonna deliver to my house.
Strabo.
I know, but I went on a spree last night.
Oh, here we go.
I had this Knob Creek 12 that I was drinking. Then I had the straight 9 and single barrel reserve. I'm like, you know what? And I'm not nothing against. What do you got to say about it, Corey? I really like Knob Creek.
Yeah.
I told you
really like it.
When are you
So
gonna leave
I'm
me
like,
sometime?
I need to get an 18-year-old. I really don't need it that
so
bad.
It sounds really
Bourbon.
bad.
18-year-old Knob Creek bourbon. Y'all need to get out of the gutter.
I wasn't gonna say.
That's all I'm going to say. Well, it was a unanimous response, so I need
She'll
to
be legal.
rephrase.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's stop. So I went to look at the prices online for an 18-year Knob Creek. Not going to do that. The Mook just found me a 15-year Knob Creek. He's like, you want it? I went,
Yes.
Let me think that. Yeah.
no, not at that price.
Damn it.
But I did a little Christmas shopping last night. For who, I don't know.
I guess it depends on if we behave or not. I guess you'll have to find someone else to give it to.
So I did some Christmas shopping last night. So I really don't remember what I bought, but we'll see when it comes in.
Yeah. Those are the best kind of Christmas shopping, when you.
Well,
When did I buy that?
I had the 18-year Glenmorangie, right? And after that, the shopping started.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Here we go.
I was
Here we
by
go.
myself, nothing to do. I watched The Hangover,
Oh.
and I watched the beginning of A Star is Born. You don't watch past halfway through that movie.
You can't?
Very depressing.
Really?
Oh, it's
Never
sad.
saw it.
Oh, sad. However, leading up to right before she starts her career, her own thing,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good stuff. Like good music, good feelings, all that stuff. You like it. Can't watch it after that. I have to turn it off.
All right. I think he was getting in touch with spending inside.
Yeah, he's watching chick flicks by himself.
Right.
And shopping.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I love to watch Lady Gaga.
If I went over and he had a bucket of bonbons, we'd had a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't my problem right now. My problem is I don't eat enough. So 3 drinks, done.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Lightweight.
I am now.
Uh-oh. Come on, my Huff.
Uh-oh. All right. New subject.
Now we got to behave.
I didn't buy nothing online. Everything's well. My wife's getting ready to come in. Somebody's going to email this to her. Did you see this? Start talking about 18-year-olds. Oh, man, that's good. So, so when you start looking at something like a Vision, I mean, those fillers, wrappers are not common.
No.
You don't hear about those often. So
No.
how readily available are they? You said 2,700 boxes, cigars were made, so it's rare.
Yeah, it's hard to come by, and I think part of it is that when growers are processing it, they may not have a full field worth, or there might have been problems that year with the weather, or some kind of limiting factor where they didn't
Right.
have a huge amount. So, we've talked about this before, but when manufacturers go in and go, okay, I want to do a full production run, and I want to make sure that I have enough of this to continue doing this exact same cigar
Right.
for an extended period of time. Well, a crop might come through and you get it,
Right.
and it's good tobacco, but you don't have enough to do a full run, so you kind of sit on it,
Yeah.
and it sits
Right.
there, and somebody
Age.
might, and it's getting age on it this whole time. It's in the big bundles and things like that. So it takes, sometimes a couple of years for someone to come through and go, I have a special project. I don't need a full run of it,
Right.
but I want to find some tobaccos that are high quality, that maybe they've been passed over because there just wasn't enough of it. And that's usually where these small batch special runs come from.
Right.
And that's kind of the big thing with these.
So that's similar to the Amazon basin.
Correct. And that's because it's not produced the normal way.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the big thing with the Amazon basin, which everybody is losing their minds because we haven't released it this year, and we typically would have by now. So I'm constantly getting, hey, did I miss it? Did I miss it? No, you have not missed it. It has not come out yet.
We'll be the first to hit reply. I'll take 5.
Yeah. So it's most of the time it's once every 3 years, and that's just because to do a production run that we want, we gotta wait to get that much.
We were just it's wow. We were talking about it, and one of our guys I was talking in here, he's like, "Yeah, I got my box of Amazon Basin. It's sitting in humidor, and in next year I might take one out." He's like, I said, "Yeah, this don't come out. They came out back-to-back years this time, but normally, like you said,
it'll
it's
be
every
like
3 years."
there's the Fuma M Corta, there's the Orellana, and there's the Basin, and I'm trying to think what the other one is. There was the Anaconda, but the Anaconda we weren't able to source any more of the tobacco to do that one, so that was a one and done, which is unfortunate because it was a really, really good cigar. So, normally they'll cycle through the 3, but yeah, we did have Basin back to back, and it's what they do is they twist it into big ropes instead of the normal fermentation process, and then they bury it under trees that produce highly poisonous fruit. But for whatever reason, that fruit, as it decays and leaches through the soil, it creates a very distinct flavor profile in the soil, and therefore the tobacco kind of absorbs all that, and it's not toxic by that point. But people are definitely clamoring for that. That and the Cohiba Spectre.
Yes.
The Spectre. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, those are the two that I get the most requests for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the Spectre, I usually get like 4 or 5 boxes for 4 states, so you can tell that one's pretty hard to get.
We have one last
We'll take
year.
2.
Yeah.
You get 4 or 5 boxes, we'll take 2. Thank you.
It's our home lounge, y'all. Just say it's home field.
And in reality is that because I'm in here and you guys can't, get rid of me, that they answer their emails and phone calls pretty quick. So
You dang straight. I see it come out and go,
quick.
order.
Right. I'm like, look, guys, I haven't even sent the email yet. Calm down.
No. I don't want to eat. Why didn't you respond?
Yeah. I'll go on break and go, email. Oh, Curly. Reply. Yes and yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to jump on that, man.
Yeah, right.
Early word gets the worm. So tomorrow is like Christmas. I have got my fingers crossed. Tomorrow is going to be a big day at the ABC store.
Yeah?
Very
You're
exciting.
Expecting a big...
I'm expecting the Boss Hog to come rolling in.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna have a bottle of the Boss Hog here at the bar. Really hoping, praying that the antique collection comes out from Buffalo Trace. So we're talking your Pappies, your Thomas H. Handy, George T. Stagg Jr. Who knows what we're gonna get? But they will be getting a call from me at noon tomorrow while they're unloading the truck.
Okay.
You ever heard of George T. Stagg? Something nice, something on the front of it. I go, yeah, how much you got? Oh, I got 2 cases. I said, may I have them, please? And sure. Piece of cake.
Hey.
Beautiful. No, I'm imitating tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is what I get. It's very exciting, and we've run out of space on the bar. So our buddy Chris Kenley's in today. I'm like, Chris, I need ideas, man. I got to have more room. I got to have more area for liquor. When we're going to start getting the Wellers and the E.H. Taylors and all that, we got to get room.
He's got grand
Very
plans.
exciting. So he's got a plan. He showed it to me today, so I'm very excited about that. Hello, dear. You want to get on camera? Okay.
Mama says no. So, we talked about this because it was a TSA Chronicle, and it happened at JFK.
Kitty meow meow.
Lo and behold, at CLT, I'm walking towards the lockers, and the supervisor comes out and says, one of the supervisors that we have on the checkpoint comes out and says, T, go tell one of the other supervisors there's a cat that came through the x-ray. What? What? Wait. He says, yes. And I called it. You did what?
This was in a checked luggage?
It was in a carrier.
Carrier? Okay.
So I go over and I go, hey, such and such says there's a cat that came through the x-ray. For real? Yes. So now I'm looking for this cat. So I walk across the front of the checkpoint and I'm looking. That looks like a carrier. Let me go over here and see if this cat's in this carrier. So I go over.
And you shake it.
No, negative. I go over and I look. And I just stand there and watch the bag for a second. The carrier. And all of a sudden I see it move and I go, there it is. That's the cat right there. Go get it. So the other supervisor comes over and he goes, are you serious right now? He did not put that cat in the x-ray. There it is.
So I'm going to ask some obvious questions. Just for our viewers out there. Why is it a bad thing the cat went through the x-ray? Is he going to lose all his hair? Is it bad
It might
for
take
you?
away one of those 9
I'm
lives.
sitting like this in an x-ray.
Different.
Is it the same deal?
The different kinds.
No.
You got me looking like I'm perp walking.
No.
Sitting right here against the wall.
That's not x-ray, sir.
Shoe fits, man. Just saying.
No, it's a knee. There you got one.
So,
Wait till I get 2 of them.
so the body scanner is actually not x-ray. It is radio wave, like you use your cell phone.
Microwaves.
So it bounces a wave off of you.
It's Big Brother. I'm telling you. Yes.
Okay.
Works
Taking
on them
my
implants
DNA
they
and
put
all
in.
that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So no, I can't tell if it's a boy or girl if you're pregnant. I've been asked that question. No, I
Does the
can't.
baby show up in the scanner?
The baby does not show
Like,
up in
is
the
he going?
scanner.
Like, sitting there all curled.
Not unless it forgot to put his wallet on the tray.
Oh my God.
So the cat goes through. So you're worried about his health?
Yes.
Okay.
So
the
then,
cat going on the plane, is that a problem?
no.
Nah.
But the
I mean,
gentleman
this
exits
Could
out.
be a Taliban cat.
He could be what he wants to. I ain't touching.
He's on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
He goes, "Meow."
So the guy exits back out. He comes back through the same checkpoint, right? So the supervisor takes off running. He tells the officer at the table, make sure he takes that cat out of the bag. Be sure he takes that cat out of the bag this time. Do not let him run that cat.
And
through
that cat
the
needs to be zapped twice.
Was the
Get
cat?
to him.
Was the
I
cat?
come out. You see that cat that got electrocuted and his hair was like, it'd be like that when he comes out.
So I'm over at the body scanner, and I tell one of the officers, hey, come here. She's like, T, what is it? I said, go tell him to take that pussy out the bag.
Wow, that could go so wrong.
It was like,
Like an
T,
18-year-old. It's a bad problem.
T, stop. I said, y'all make sure he take that out of the bag, okay? Take her out.
Was the cat's name Murder Mittens?
Right,
He's on
Lucky.
the no-fly
Lucky.
list.
Yeah.
Lucky the cat. So
Poor
how's the
kitty.
cat doing? Is the cat fine? Did the cat make it? Why did the guy go back out?
I have no clue.
It's like he voluntarily left the area, went back out so
Back
he
out.
could come back through
through the check,
TSA.
yep.
It was so much fun the first time that I want to do it again.
Well, the cat must have had some
Listen.
suspicious.
Oh.
You
Public
know
service announcement.
Uh-oh.
People, listen. Please listen to me when I tell you this. If you are flying out of town for the holidays, please do not wrap your Christmas gifts and bring them through TSA.
Oh.
Because if we have to unwrap your Christmas gifts,
They don't wrap them back.
I can't wrap.
Yes, you can.
No.
I've heard you rap before.
Music,
Not
nor
that
Christmas
kind.
gifts. If I have to tape up your Christmas gift, it will have inspected by TSA as
tape?
as tape.
Cigar pimp. She gonna sign it. So you have to unwrap them to see what's in there because the X-ray won't do it for you. I don't understand this
if
X-ray
something
thing.
comes
Why
back
does it matter if I've got? Listen to me. If I got a carry-on, right? It's wrapped. It's not paper.
But
it's leather. It's thicker.
I got
X-ray.
this one. I'll answer this one. So just like when your bag, if something suspicious shows up on the X-ray, they have to do a secondary inspection.
Sure.
Then that would be the case.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. But if it's
I don't think they rip open all packages. It would just be the
well,
ones
you made
that.
it sound like don't wrap any packages.
Well, I
But
wouldn't.
I'm saying
just 'cause you don't know.
because I've had to unwrap.
What's the difference? Think about this. If I wrap them all and you only want to see one, I only got to wrap one again. If I don't wrap any of them, it's the same difference. If you unwrap them all, I've got to wrap them either way.
Don't wrap your Christmas gifts.
Don't
Trust
listen
me.
to Bryan.
Don't listen to Beef. Don't listen to
I'm in
Beef.
that mood today.
Don't listen to Beef.
Look at he's all spicy over here.
Right.
Mr.
I'm having the
Feisty.
time of my life. Dude, I was mad over the weekend.
For what?
Let me tell you something.
How can you be mad?
Exactly. And why should I be?
You should.
Life is too short to walk around mad.
He was mad at Carolina.
Oh.
Well, that didn't help. But I let somebody else dictate my demeanor. I did not
That's
realize
not like
it.
you.
No, it's not. So by Sunday, I'd had enough people say, "Are you mad? Are you angry?" I go, maybe. So, I'm sitting there doing a self-evaluation.
Like, hey, what's going on that
What
makes
is
this
happening?
many people ask?
And I finally narrowed it down to what it was.
All right.
So I had a conversation on Monday with this person just to say, look, you made me mad all weekend on what we discussed Thursday and Friday.
Really?
And there's no reason why I should be mad for that, right? I mean, what the conversation was about, it wasn't about me. It was just a conversation that was intense, but it wasn't like bodily intense. It was just a conversation.
Right.
So, and T's right. So, come Saturday at 2:00 in the afternoon, I get a call from my cousin. Hey man, I got tickets to the ACC championship game. It's 20 minutes away. We're on the 50-yard line. We're on the 20th row. I got a ticket. Do you want to go? It's X amount of money. I said, I don't care about the money. I said, I got an
let's go.
obligation. I got an obligation.
Got to support.
Well, no. I had an obligation, a prior commitment. So I called my prior commitment, who has no idea sports exist, right? I mean, they're in a different world. They're in the art world. So, is there a football game this weekend? Who's playing? And I explained the situation. I played there, blah, blah, blah. I want to go. So I go. And we got the absolute but Jesus beat out of us. Okay? That didn't help my mood.
Like you should have called 911 beatings?
Well, I really didn't feel like that at the time. I mean, it wasn't that, but it didn't help. Then Saturday, my Tar Heels lose again in basketball to Virginia Tech. The first preseason number 1 ever to go on a 5-game losing streak. Ever in the history of NCAA basketball.
Somebody getting fired?
No, of course not. No, it's just the expectations are here. If your expectations are here and it happens, it's like, they're going to build, they're going to be fine, they're going to be better. Up here,
Kind of like watching
it's
the Panthers.
well, who thought the Panthers were going to win?
I am so
I mean,
glad
did you
that
ever have an expectation that they were going to go to the
I
playoffs?
was hopeful with that.
With the quarterback situation they had, with the offensive line not being
No, I
addressed?
was hopeful just because I like the coach now.
I love him.
You know what I mean? Like
Steve Wilkes,
I
Steve
want
Wilkes needs to be
him.
hired as head coach.
I agree, 100%.
Yep.
That
Like,
man is working with nothing.
that guy was
on
handed
offense.
a shit sandwich,
Yeah, absolutely.
and he's making the best of it. And I like him. I like his cut.
He is.
Good.
I'm with you.
You know.
So anyways, we
I
get
agree.
through it. Gina's like, Gina,
I love how he says like he got through.
Well, I have to go through a process.
You go
You got to
through
know
the
yourself.
your stages
So
of
I go
grief.
to my wife and I go, I said, I've done things today I've never done. Like, I was storming out of the house mad about something. And I never do that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I said, I'm really sorry. She said, yeah, every time you walked in the room, I could feel you. Like, across the room. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
But, yeah. Isn't that terrible? But you got to be more self-aware. You know what I mean? You got to deal with that. But I dealt with it, so I'm good. Panthers. All right. So I know he's not going to mind me saying this. So Yancey Thigpen was in here, Mike Delaney, Larry Griffin. They're all here. Former. I mean, Yancey wasn't with the Panthers, but
Steelers.
He was with the Steelers, but he was with Buffalo. He was a couple others.
Yeah.
And Delaney and I played together, and then at Chapel Hill, and then Larry played Chapel Hill right before me, but he also played with Steelers, but he was the HR manager for the Panthers.
Okay.
So there's a lot of connections there, and Yancey's a friend of Steve Wilkes. A friend of a friend introduced him this type of thing. So we start talking, and we talk about cigars, talk about bourbons. Steve Wilkes likes that. He likes all that stuff. He'd love to be in the industry at some point.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he gets a head coaching position. Interim, whatever it is, for the Panthers. Now his whole world is like different, and you're going. He is coaching his way into a contract.
Right.
I'm not sure what you're looking for here.
He is
but
the guy.
You trade away the best athlete on offense.
Right.
Okay, McCaffrey. Mm-hmm. You've got 3 quarterbacks that have not, now 3, now 2, but at the time, Baker Mayfield was never part of the equation, if you really think about it.
I don't know why they got him anyway.
Well, he was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was at Cleveland. Cleveland's not known for a good offense. They're not known for scoring points, and yet he did, right? So, I think it was worth the effort based on the price they paid. They pay a lot for him, and they got a deal on him when they got him. So you got that going for you, right? And you got DJ Moore taking his helmet off in the end zone, excited about scoring a touchdown, which we said. He is now the best athlete on the offensive side of the ball, and he made a mistake, and he paid for it. And believe me, I think he feels worse than we do.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we're not beating him up. What I'm saying is he's been handed this hand of cards that he's dealing with, and he's
Very
got
much
one of the
stacked
best
against
defenses.
him.
Right. But he's got one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really. I love our defense.
Our defense is top notch.
Burns is my man. 53. I got to get to Jersey.
Listen.
I got to get to Jersey.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, man, we get an offense around this guy. We get him some tools to work with. The players obviously are playing hard for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's, really the true definition of a leader. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't rein it in and get it working together, it's worthless.
You're right. But he
it's
can
like
lose the locker
having a
room.
Bugatti sitting there with no tires on it. It's great. Okay, cool. That's awesome. But it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. So, you spent a lot of money on it. Good for you, I guess.
Right.
All show, no go. But he definitely, and I'm not a huge fan, but I am becoming one because of him. To me, it's about, the sport, I think, used to be about the heart of the game. And we've kind of fallen away from that. It's become about the celebrities and, all these people that are in it for them, not the team. And that's hard for me to watch, especially coming from a background where, the team is where the strength was. You were only as strong as your weakest link and all those colloquialisms. But, there's a lot of truth to that. So when you get a team that has heart, I'm all about it.
But they truly, you can lose a locker room. And going through what they went through with Matt Rule.
I can only imagine how broken they were. Emotionally, we're broken.
Well, they're competitors more than we are. I don't like to lose at anything to anybody, right? Ever. I have to win all the time at whatever game I'm playing. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I still want to win, right? These guys are times 10. They work their whole lives. They put themselves out there. They're going to get injured. They could. Odell Beckham gets a torn ACL. Von Miller tore ACL. They are putting themselves out there every day, and the last play could be this play could be
Right.
the last
That's
play.
it.
They don't
And
know
it's
it,
all
so
over.
they're out there doing everything they can to win.
Well, it's funny you say that because there's I think it's on Netflix. It's a show where they pair veterans with prior NFL players because they talk about the experiences actually. Well, it's not the same. The results are very similar.
Yeah, right.
Where they were part of a group that you fought really hard to be part of.
Right.
You were there for your brothers, and then one day you weren't. And there was really no way of redefining yourself because you work your whole life for a certain thing,
right? And
then all of a sudden it's gone. Like, how do you adjust? But it's interesting to see because on the surface you would think they have nothing to do with each other, and while NFL usually doesn't have the length of career and things like that, I understand it from the perspective of how you're all in.
Let me give you my perspective on that.
Okay.
I did not play pro football. I played 4 years of college football. I have had the great opportunity and experience to be around some NFL alumni. We played golf. They've been in here. We've spoken. We're starting to develop a relationship. I don't care if you have a common denominator. Like a lot of these guys played for Pittsburgh at one time or another. A lot of just happens, but. I don't care if Adrian Morrell's here, he played for Arizona, and Larry Griffin played for Pitt, and LT's here from the Giants, and Greg Lloyd's here from, they all have a common brotherhood.
Right.
Okay, they blood, sweat, and tears on that field, and they gave everything they could. And yes, they got paid well. But
The level of commitment.
it's unheard of. And where you put yourself out there, the level of athleticism and strength today, even versus when I was playing, is beyond measure.
Oh, yeah.
The difference.
Right.
These guys are hitting each other and they're bench pressing 400 500 pounds. I mean, really? If you could bench press 400 pounds, you're a strong dude.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty strong. But the point I'm making with the transition, I have no idea what it's like to transition to normal life, I'll quote normal life, from the military to that. That is a tough transition. Obviously, a lot of people have difficulty with that, especially who have been in combat. And you see the suicide and the depression and the mental illness that takes place, okay? So I'm not saying it's like that at all. What I am telling you is that there is a transition of thought and process. I was in 4 years of football where you were told what to do, when to do it. You had a teammate. You all worked together. You had to get along. You had to work together. You worked out every day together. You sweated together. You did all this together, right?
Yeah.
And the next day, so it's May 12th, you graduate. May 13th, where did I go?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Greensboro.
And one of the biggest things that they had was the inability to relate to other people.
I'm getting there, man. It's even worse in a job situation.
Well, I can imagine.
So you have expectations of being tight. Like, this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is where we're going. You don't have a confidence problem managing me because you are the expert. You are the boss. Okay? She can relate to this, and I can relate to this well. I don't know about you. Okay? I don't know. I've had bosses tell me I intimidate them. Right? And it's because I'm right down the line. This is the goal. I'm going to hit this goal. You said this is where we needed to go, so this is what we're going to do.
Right. Don't
And this
ask
is
me
how
how we're
we
going to
do
get
it.
there. We're
Dude,
just going to make it.
It's going to be more legal and ethical.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
But
going to
other
walk
than
the
that,
line,
there might
but
be a
we're going
little-
to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, don't
Don't
tell
ask
me
me.
you're intimidated. I looked at this person, and I made a decision right there. You should not, if you have our background, and not that it's the same, but it's similar in ways.
Right.
Where you should not work for anybody that didn't play sports or wasn't in the military. Period. You can, if you do, you're going to face certain obstacles that other people don't face because they don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get the regimen. They don't get the process. They don't get, this is how we do things.
Been there, done that.
See, I think
You part.
I
Been
think
there, done that.
fundamentally what the difference is that we were in it for the mission. We weren't in it for ourselves.
Right.
Where I think externally, and this is obviously a broad net that I'm throwing out there because there are individuals outside of that realm that understand it and are about the mission.
Sure.
But, I think what I've been exposed to and to my own detriment is that how many people are in it for themselves or for the next 5 minutes. Like, they don't have the idea of winning it, right? They're just in it to, what can I get out of it? And then they almost look at themselves as disposable. Like, I don't care what I do right now because I don't plan on being here next year.
Right.
And I don't know that
I'm
level
see you
of
chumps later. I'm out of here. I'm doing my thing.
right. So they'll light the house on fire and then they walk out.
Right.
Well, the house is still on fire, but then they wash their hands of it. Like, that's weird. I had nothing to do with that.
Right.
And it's a weird dynamic. But yeah, I've definitely been accused of being too intimidating.
Oh, I have to.
But you are so hell-bent on accomplishing the goal together. When you see somebody who's a lone wolf, who's doing that thing, and take, you're like, wait a minute. We're in this together. We can work together. I can work with anybody. We're going to make each other better, sharpen each other's swords, and we're going to move forward, right?
Right.
And you see the other side, and it doesn't compute. Like, people don't realize how that doesn't translate.
Right.
So you got to be around the people who are like you in order to function well and be effective, because you know each other so well. I mean, you have to work together with people like a machine. Like, you're
Everybody
only as strong
has
as your
to
weakest
function.
link.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's no room
You stay in your lane and do your function, and we're all good.
There's no room for weak sauce.
And you were saying people that with similar backgrounds. That's like guys that retire from police department, guys retire from the fire service.
Oh yeah, there's similarities across the board. It's not
when they
everybody
retire,
cannot do that.
A lot of those guys, and a lot of females too, a lot of the firefighters and police officers, once they retire,
They got a 5-year lifespan.
it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
And it's unfortunate.
I no longer get up. I no longer have to put that uniform on.
I no longer have purpose.
Yeah, they think that's their purpose in life.
Well, but our goal is always to retire.
Oh yeah.
Is get to that
But
finish
once
line.
you get there,
But
you're
once
like,
you
no,
get
no, no,
there,
no, no,
now
no,
what?
I don't want
What am I
it.
supposed to do?
52 years old.
Right.
I mean, most guys now retiring, or ladies, are retiring from police and fire, or in the early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
They can retire with full
You got
benefits.
a lot of leg under you still.
If you see guys who could have retired 10 years ago still doing it, they get it.
Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
honestly get it.
Yeah.
You know, my father-in-law was retired as captain of the police force over here, and he went to landscaping because he had to be out. He liked
Yeah,
the
to do
outdoors.
something.
He was a gardener. You know, he did that for. He finally cut his last yard last year, and I want to say he's, how old's Papa Benny? 77. Turning in his equipment. But see, that kept him going. They gave him a purpose. They gave him what he was doing.
Exactly.
But you know, when you were talking about transition, I don't think we ever do transition. And the reason I say that is if you take a goldfish out of a bowl and you put him in a lake, he's going to grow to be 5 pounds. He will never fit back in the bowl again. And the worst disservice you can do is to try to shove that person back in that bowl. The best we can hope for is understand you're a 5-pound goldfish and find your next pond.
That's it.
That's all we have. And
Well, you have
instead
to
of
have
trying,
the right fit, but you got to know what you're challenged with.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you were going with that. Because when you get the veterans who are retired and these guys that are getting ready to retire and leave the game, they have to be prepared for their life after that.
And to their credit, there's attempts on, you know, DOD side and, you know,
How's it going?
all the...
Yeah, come on, help me out.
What's going on, man?
Help me out.
Raymond.
Raleigh?
Yeah.
Get the hell. All right, I got to leave the podcast.
Oh, he's stepping out on us.
Man, I ain't seen you in forever. I saw you come in and I looked at you like this.
But yeah.
Good to see you too, bro.
But yeah, it is definitely a struggle
Feeling
for
mutual, man.
people trying to be something that they're told they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. Like I've had guys that retire from the fire department, and I'm like, what are you doing now? This, that, and that. Oh, I'm retired. I'm doing this, that, and the third. A lot of them are retire and move on to something else, just to have something else to do.
Because they understand I can't not be doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's,
I always laugh
crazy.
at, like, when firefighters tell me they retired, I'm like, so which construction company are you running now?
Yeah.
There
They're
seems
doing
to be
something.
a
Yeah.
tie. Like construction, like the physical activity of burning off that energy seems to be a big one.
Absolutely.
I can see that. I love building and doing and like doing stuff, right? Like,
Good.
so are we getting ready to tear down a wall?
Yes.
All
What
right.
day you coming?
I don't know. We gotta schedule this.
Let's see.
We our factory is usually shut down December 15th till the end of the year. So I'm hoping that our company decides that we've done well enough this year to give us a little bit of a break, and then
So I'll see you Friday on the 16th.
I'm hoping. Well, no, I got an event. On the 16th. Yes, but
All right.
we're
So
gonna-
I'm off all week next week.
we're tearing down a wall.
I know, man.
All right. So like I said,
I got to move some electrical too, don't I?
just
There's
one
a-
outlet.
Yeah, that's easy. I can do that all. It should be fine.
Oh. Y'all gonna get a report on this. But Carolee, I've given Carolee permission because I want to help. So we're gonna take down this wall, a half wall, that separates my kitchen
I'm
from
pretty
my
sure it's not
dining
load bearing
room.
too. We'll find out soon enough.
So we're gonna do a slight construction project at the hideout. So I might have to record this.
So I got to tell y'all. So obviously I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, I can tell. Very
We
excited.
played high school football together. This is
Oh,
that.
we're
this is
going
that
right back to
connection
it,
we were
right?
talking
Right.
about. He walks in. I look. Saw me do that look, and I'm going.
I know him
I'm
from
getting
somewhere.
it. I'm getting it. Where is it? It's back here. Oh my God, love him. Great guy. We played. He's a little bit younger than I am, but we played at East Gaston High School together.
Okay, cool.
So
That's
that was
awesome.
in 1986, 85, 86.
Only a couple years ago.
Right. So we haven't seen each other since.
Really?
Really?
I came back my first year in school. I came back and worked out with these guys, and he was a senior then, so I think he graduated in '87. And I remember being at Providence Day and lighting him up. I was in his ear the whole. He'll remember that. I can't wait. He's coming back tomorrow. One of our good friends, his cousin, we play ball with Lump. Rodney Hunter's birthday's tomorrow, so he's coming in. We're gonna share some stories, but
That's
I was
awesome.
lighting him up. I was in his ear.
So
man.
I go to church with Ronnie.
Oh, do you?
Me, Ronnie, and Stephanie.
Yeah.
We attend the same church. What's funny?
You go in with her.
What's funny is when I was house shopping in Mount Holly, the house came up, and I contacted my cousin,
No,
who was good friends with his wife Stephanie, Ronnie's wife Stephanie, and I asked her, where did they live? And I was like, is that house right down the street behind the hospital? And she was like, yes. Is that house up for sale? She says, yes. I said, okay. And so I didn't know. I actually got the paperwork on the house, and their name was on it, and I went. That's why I called her, because I was like, I think that's who this is. This is Lump and his wife.
yeah.
That's cool.
So I ended up buying their house.
Right.
I'm
And
definitely
that's
getting the
that
sense
connection.
of moving to this part of the country is like there's not 7 degrees of separation. There's like 1, maybe 2 at the most.
Well, and-
everybody knows everybody, or like
sort of.
somehow
Yeah.
Sort of.
interconnected. I've been finding that in
Sort
like
of.
the weirdest ways.
But you're around people though that know a lot of people.
Yeah.
You got your experience maybe a little bit skewed in that. Okay, there was a time when in the mid '80s, everybody wanted to get out of here. Like I ain't coming back.
I understand
Right,
that.
I'm graduating. I'm moving somewhere else. I moved to Greensboro for a few years. Ended up coming back to raise our family, right? Because our family's right here. But in Mount Holly, I would say probably 30 to 40%, and I don't know that percentage, be close, are original or returning.
Coming back to the fold.
Right.
Yep.
The vast majority are from somewhere else, never been here, don't have any experience here, or any of that.
Yeah.
But what you see here is you'll see that we know a lot of the folks because they like to serve their downtown, give back to it because they grew up in a different era.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, the dry cleaner downtown. We had Massey Hardware. We had Holland's Drug Store. We had all that in downtown, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was before the great evolution of big malls,
Yeah.
So you had Eastridge Mall come in, and all these things happened in downtowns, so everybody went somewhere else shopping. And
Right.
so now everybody has this desire to get back to their downtown, to get back to that. And I think
And it's almost like it skipped a generation. Because, I grew up in a really small town, and it was like a generation where everybody left, no one came back.
Right.
Well, now it's their kids are now trying to find that normal, the Norman Rockwell kind of small town. And, these places have kind of been untouched by time.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard to keep it that way.
Oh, for
but
sure.
You fight, like we have a historic district in downtown that is designated historic for a reason. The catalyst for that, so we had all this, but we weren't exposed to the growth. We weren't exposed to a lot of the pressures.
Right.
So a CVS wanted to go in and tear down across the street. It's an old store building. We put a moratorium on all development.
Okay.
Let's stop.
We need
Let's
to think
examine this.
Right.
We got to protect our character.
Right.
Right. And
Well, and
it was
it's
intentional.
always the trade-off too. It's like, okay, this would bring revenue, and this would bring new life to this town. But in the process of bringing this little shot of insulin in, are we going to kill the town?
Right.
Kill our identity, our character.
Right.
Exactly.
And so
Because it's easy to become
But
like
we can-
all these other little towns
we
that have
can
just
build Burkdale.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can build Burkdale.
Right.
But that doesn't have. I mean, it's nice, but does that have character?
And I don't
It
wanna
doesn't
live
have
there.
historic character.
Right.
Right. And so you can't give away that history and what you're doing. Raymond, it's a pleasure, my friend.
Man, I gotta get your number.
Hey, call City Hall. They got it all the time. They give out my cell phone.
You don't give out the mayor don't give out the number.
No. Hey, will you give me my number now? So y'all got it. No, but you have to plan carefully. Because as a city, you're always gonna be here.
right.
Yeah.
You're living with what other people are making money off of. So we can talk housing developments, we can talk commercial, retail developments. So you have to have standards that you put in place that you stand behind, that they can't just come in, slap something up, leave, because they're not coming back.
No.
Right.
No.
You might make a few more extra dollars in revenue off of that, but how much did you lose from
As a
another
result.
business or another person moving this town because you did?
Right.
What makes you
I mean,
unique?
it really is a balance of controlled growth, because controlled growth is healthy. Uncontrolled growth, I think they call it cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And every city is going to go through this that hasn't been through it. Like, if you haven't been through the growth, you haven't been through the pressure. I mean, we live beside the top 5 economic engine in the country, okay, in Charlotte. And we are working in an environment where people want Norman Rockwell.
right.
They don't want to live in Charlotte.
Right.
They want safety, and they want good schools, and they want
That's me.
a wonderful, cool
Right.
place to live.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to maintain that. That's your marching orders, right? If you're
Yeah.
elected here, your marching orders, hey, keep the downtown.
We like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
town the way it is. Keep it alive, but don't bastardize it.
And the other part about it is growth is going to happen. Okay, you're going to get it, but we have design standards that if you want to be in our city, so anywhere somebody's going to build, for the most part, they have to be voluntarily annexed. So they have to say, we want to be a part of you. We want to have your services, your water, sewer.
Right.
And because of that, we can put requirements called conditional rezonings and we can put requirements on them to say, this is what you're going to build, this is what you're not going to build, and here are all the steps to do it. And if you don't meet those standards, fine. Just don't come here.
Right.
Right.
If you're going to meet the standards, then we'll talk.
And
And then you do a cost-benefit analysis. So it's not just,
It's
you don't
not
just
as
bring them
easy.
in because, oh my God, you picked us. And we're so excited that you want to come here. No.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and
Right.
I'm glad for that. I mean, that truly is the reason why I chose, because I rented in the surrounding area for a couple years just to get a feel for where I wanted to invest my, when I buy a house. And I couldn't be happier. And I think some cities are so far gone from that growth is so uncontrolled, and nobody's behind the steering wheel anymore.
Right.
It's
It's
just
out of control.
It's out of control.
It's out of control.
At this point, I think the people that go on to those, not to be unkind, but I think some of the city board members and stuff like that, they don't care because it's already a dumpster fire. So they're like, hey, just pay me, get mine, and then I don't care what you do with it.
Prime example, Epicenter, downtown Charlotte.
It's sad, isn't it? It's
Prime
sad.
example.
It's
Prime
just-
example. That was I could tell you from
It was the cool place.
being there and watching the development and watching it come about. That was
It
a
legitimately
dumpster fire from
was
the beginning.
an epicenter.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
what they've done to it is just a travesty.
It's because they couldn't control it.
Well, and, there were a number of issues that contributed to it.
Timing of things happening, yes.
I mean, but
But it was
also,
already on the slippery slope
But-
before.
Well, but also, and I'm gonna talk about it from a perspective of somebody outside of Charlotte.
Okay.
So, I've grown up here. I wasn't here my whole life. I went to school. I lived in Greensboro a few years, and then we moved back. And Charlotte has always been the place to go for quality, like higher quality eating, entertainment. You go
Right.
to the Panthers, you go to the Hornets, you go to the Checkers, you go to see the baseball team play, and you come home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go somewhere into Charlotte, we don't like going to Charlotte anyways.
Right.
Traffic, other issues you face.
Yeah.
The Epicenter had a lot of cool places, like
Right.
Howl at the Moon. Love
It
Howl
was
at the
a
Moon.
destination. You
Right.
could do
You
all
could go,
these things in the
but
same
then,
spot.
Same
But
spot.
then the safety
Oh, yeah.
issues started coming in.
Right.
I don't know.
And
Body
they did
armor
not-
is so slimming.
But
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They started having, and I don't care if it's true or not, it's the perception.
Yes.
I'm not going somewhere and invite trouble. Like, I'm not going to go somewhere in Charlotte where I'm going to feel unsafe.
Right.
And that became some of the perception.
Yeah.
Right or wrong, I don't even know the statistics.
Yeah, it
Does
doesn't
not
matter.
Right.
Perception's reality.
It is. And so we were like, do you really want to go? I mean, are we
Traffic
really,
is
are
a
we really going over
bugger.
there? I gotta
Parking's
find somewhere
expensive.
to park. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
So,
you
and
weigh it
this
against.
was cascading. It was a
and,
domino effect.
You know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't want to end up on
absolutely.
the news tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
And like that's
And then they killed all the businesses.
yeah. Yeah. Because nobody wanted to go.
Right.
Nobody
For
wanted
all
to be
of
down
those factors, and then add the Rona Roundup to it, and it was like, it was.
Yeah.
Well, and Corona, right. And,
Yeah.
COVID comes in and, that shuts everything down. And Charlotte,
Really shut down.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
New York. And think about what happened in New York, a mass exodus of
Oh, they fled the
restaurants
city.
and people
Yeah.
because they were completely shut down and nobody really, it appears, and hindsight's 20/20. So
True.
it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback. So I'm not going to be that guy. All I'm going to say is I think we all learned a valuable lesson during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, a disease is going to run its course. And certain people are going to be susceptible, just like they are to the flu
Right.
and many other ailments. The biggest thing was we didn't have answers. It was the unknown. Is it going to kill everybody? Is this the plague? I mean, once you got past that, we opened during COVID.
And
I
you
mean,
did awesome.
I have the mentality of, hey, you want to wear a mask? Wear a mask. You want to stay at home? Stay at home. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm not going to live my life scared of the unknown. I'm going to go out. I'm going to live my life and let the chips fall where they may. But that's part of the American mantra.
And truly, the most insidious part of that disease was the lack of veracity and information.
But you didn't know who to believe.
Well, that's just it.
Because it was politicized.
Once it became political, you no longer had any. I mean, like, come on. Our news has stopped being news for a long time, and it's now entertainment. So once you no longer know what to believe, you have to go on your gut. And everybody's gut instinct is based on their life experience. So the rational that we should all get up in the morning and all believe the same thing is ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, for sure, that's not going to be the case. So no matter how loud I get or how loud you get, it doesn't make you more right.
No.
And when you have no place to go to get true information, because God forbid you get on the internet. I mean, that's like swimming in with gators and sharks. I mean, there's no place left to get information. I mean, especially when you can't even go to CDC or the WHO or all these places. Once the seed of doubt has been placed,
the credibility is gone.
Yeah, 100%.
Once you politicize it, and I don't care who's president. I don't care who's in charge. I really don't.
Science should be. And when they keep saying follow the science, did we?
No.
That's the problem.
And Fauci started off doing the right thing, but he got so much pressure to say.
He got so much celebrity that he liked it.
Well, and that could be it. Yeah.
Part of it, yeah.
A lot of celebrity that went with it, but in the beginning, when you remember all that, you were thinking about Fauci is the man. All right, so we're going to listen to this. Then it was more draconian in nature, so you're trying to balance that out in your mind. Mm-hmm. And you have to realize that a lot of this nation is don't tread on me.
Right.
They got the flag. They may not fly.
But they feel it.
It's like, do not tell me what to do.
Oh, yeah.
I have free will. We are not in a communist country. You are not going to tell me what to do. If I want to wear a mask, I'll wear it. Right. If I don't, I won't. And I'm going to live with the consequences.
Right.
So, there were a lot of people that passed away. Very sad. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, and what you're saying, I think, is that, hey, just give us information.
Right.
Factual
then
information.
Let us make those choices.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Last time I checked,
I'll make
that
my
was
own decision.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, I got COVID shot, got COVID booster. Because I felt stupid if I'm like, all right, I've got things available to me. I'm going to take advantage of what's available to me and utilize it.
Right.
I believe in the science. I truly still have confidence. They're not going to send something out there that's going to kill people for a vaccine. Now, I might be naive.
Oh, I don't even know what look.
But
all I believe is that facts do not change.
I agree with that. If it's a fact, it's a fact.
Right.
You can argue
And
all day
the
long,
problem in that statement is that people will label things as a fact when they, in fact, are not a fact.
Happens
right?
every day on Facebook and Instagram.
And
why don't you be an elected official and deal with that?
Oh God, I'm worse. I'm an HOA president. That's way worse than.
No, it's a worse job.
Oh, it's terrible.
But when you're in a public eye and you're an elected official and you're dealing with Facebook and people put things on there that they went to bed last night thinking about and they got up in the morning and said, well, that's got to be it.
It's
got to be true.
Everybody knows
and
this.
And they put it on and it's about you or something you had to do with or whatever. You're going, where did this come from? But once it's out there, there's no refuting it.
No.
Like, you can provide all the information you want, all the factual information.
Doesn't matter.
Does not matter. Mm-hmm. And that is sad that we have keyboard warriors sitting out there behind their keyboard taking pot shots at people and not taking responsibility for who they are or what they say. That's wrong. I'm just saying.
Way wrong.
If you volunteer to go out and be a homeowner associate president, be a mayor, be a city councilman, be whatever.
Put yourself out there.
You are putting yourself out there. Where these people don't have the backbone or the will to get out there and really put it on the line, I got no respect for that.
Right.
You know what? You want to say it to me, and we talk about it, and let's just get the information out there that's correct. And thank goodness there are a lot of people out there that are like that. But there are also these other people who have to live their lives like that because
they're looking
they
for the
must
fight.
be bored. I don't know.
I think truly at the end of the day, some people, that is their way of feeling alive, is they need the fight. They need the drama. They need the, you know, otherwise.
But they just want to stir it up. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people
but that's
out there
how
that
they
just stir
feel
it up.
something.
We got a citizen in this town, and we're getting ready to stop all this, but we have a citizen in town who has 5 aliases on Facebook. So nobody knows who he is.
That's awesome.
He is out there spreading
non-facts,
hate and
disease
discontent.
and discontent
Yeah.
because he doesn't have the wherewithal, and I'll say that in a nice way,
Got
to
it.
put his own name behind what he says.
Oh, he don't have no balls.
That part.
Okay.
So
I can say it.
we have to.
I just live here.
We have to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you have to
And
say,
it takes
well,
up a big
Barbara
chunk of your
Gordon,
time.
Barbara Gordon was on Batman. That's one of his aliases.
No way.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And we're sitting there back going, wow. Really? Because if you're a man, man up. If you're not, keep your mouth shut.
well,
I can say that
mean,
in a much different way, but it's,
at the end of the day, truth will always stand the light of day.
it will, and facts will always trump fiction, and that's how I live my life. And I don't live my life by social media and all that, okay? But it is frustrating.
Wait a minute.
Because we
I
have to
only
do
got
it.
300 likes today. Does that mean nobody likes me?
I pottied and nobody liked me. I ate Raisin Bran for breakfast and fed the kids, and nobody thought
Nobody
that was
hit
great.
the like button. Oh my God.
Hey,
I'm so not
what a
validated.
great cigar though. Now it has mellowed, and it could be the bourbon, but it's
Well,
mellowed.
it may be a little bit of that, but I will agree with you. It is not. It has not been rough at any point in this cigar.
Charlie could smoke this.
Yeah, Charlie would actually, I think, really like this
Yeah.
cigar.
Normally, at this point, you know where I'm at,
You
got
start to
about
get a
an
little
inch to
hot?
go. Normally, there's no hot. There's
No.
I can touch this all the way up.
No.
There is no hot.
No hot.
at all. I can touch that. There's no hot. It is not peppery. So normally it's going to get a little stronger, get a little peppery in that. Of course, the Eagle Rare is way smooth.
It's
I don't even know what you say about that.
Sublime.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean this.
Happy birthday. That's all
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna say.
This was quite generous.
said,
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
appreciate
It is
you
my
get an
pleasure.
opportunity for Eagle Rare and CEO Vision. The pairing has been really good. Although, pretty sure anything you pair with an Eagle Rare is going to be awesome.
Hey, you know, I love you guys. You're a big part of our family. I appreciate you. And I was thinking this morning, I'm going, I've been thinking for a couple of days, what are we gonna have for the bourbon? And I went, you know what? You love Eagle Rare.
Yep.
And
Rare.
I knew she would love Eagle Rare. And I was like, it's a natural choice.
So
Yeah.
after my son's father's memorial service, I had a bottle, Eagle Rare, and I don't know, my son and his friends and all that, they was drinking Crown or whatever. I was like, yeah, y'all go ahead and drink that. So I
Let
went
the
to
children drink what they want to
right,
drink.
right. So I go to the car and I bring out an Eagle Rare. Mama, what's that? Son, this is for grown folks.
This doesn't concern you.
This
Go back to the kids' table.
I'm gonna let you taste this,
Right.
but you can't have this, okay?
That's funny.
And so
You and a friend.
me and a friend, we were drinking Eagle Rare. So someone, my son's friends was like,
Can we have a sip?
Auntie, what's that? This is Eagle Rare. This is not something you drink. This is something you sip.
Very
Okay, this
much
is what
true.
we sip and drink and smoke cigars with, okay?
Absolutely.
So let me try. So I give him a little bit. I said, now just taste it. I want you to just sip it and taste it. oh my God, that's so smooth. What is this called? It's like Eagle Rare. So when
I
you
would
go,
say this is called Nunya.
yeah. Now, mind you, all his buddies are the ones that most of them were in his wedding.
Yeah.
And so I bought a box of cigars, the Macanudo Cafe.
Yep. No, it was the orange, wasn't it?
No, it was the cafe.
Was it?
Yeah. And we smoked cigars at his wedding. And I was cutting and lighting the cigars for him, and I was telling him, hey, this is what you do, this is what you don't do.
Right.
And they were on the rooftop talking about, ooh, I feel real sedity. So now is couple months after my son's wedding, after his wedding, they was like, so ask your mom when we gonna go smoke cigars. So a couple of them came in when my son played here, this band played here.
Yeah.
And they were like, you gave me my first cigar.
That's so cool.
So even at the memorial service, a couple more came, and it was like,
Now this was her son's dad at the memorial service,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
don't want to.
Yeah.
It made it sound like it was your son. So
yeah,
that's
my son's dad memorial service. We went back to the house and whatever, and we was sitting around, we was smoking cigars, and they were smoking wood. But anyway, they was like, we want to go smoke cigars with you.
That's
And they only
cool.
want to. And the funny thing is, they only want to smoke cigars with me.
Not with him.
No, he wants to come, but all him wants to come and smoke cigars.
You're the cigar extraordinaire.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
And
they
on,
want.
that, on that note,
Oh yeah.
thank you for joining us today. What a great session. I don't know if you enjoyed it. We did.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we
Hey,
did.
we give examples, and this is us having a cigar and a drink together. This is
And
what
the-
happens
and
in
the-
every cigar bar in America.
And the path of discussion this usually leads to.
Well, but
It's all
you know,
over the
this is
place
what-
because it opens your mind and everything to the experience.
Oh yeah.
But we're not scripted.
No.
We don't script it. We are talking to each other because we're friends. We know each other. And that's what it's about, coming to a cigar lounge, having that experience. People ask, why do you smoke cigar? I don't get it. You know what? It's not about the cigar. The cigar brings us together.
Yes.
It's about the people coming together to fellowship.
Right.
You know? Drink water, drink Diet Pepsi, drink Eagle Rare. It doesn't
Just come
matter.
out and hang out.
Just hang out. You don't have to drink.
Right.
Just gonna hang out.
That's
T,
what we do.
what's the best cigar you having today?
The one I'm having right now with my family and friends.
Salute.
Salute.
Have a great
Salute.
day. Happy birthday.
Yeah.